For asking my ex to take a drug/alcohol test? Our son is now 7. When I, 42, met my ex-wife, 40, she was sober and remained that way for 10 years. She relapsed on alcohol after our son was born. His birth was traumatic as she got preeclampsia at 26 weeks and had to deliver the baby to save her life. He was 1 pound 12 ounces at birth and spent 4 months in the hospital. She relapsed within a month of him coming home. I had never known her as a drinker, and although I work as a substance abuse counselor and have for 16 plus years, I've never seen someone drink so heavily in person and lie so brazenly about it. She's a vodka straight out of the bottle, first thing in the morning type drinker. She's been to multiple detoxes and rehabs. She endangered our son on more than one occasion, usually driving drunk. When he was an infant, she drove the car into a house with him in it. Yes, I've involved CPS and no, nothing came of it. She's a pretty white lady in a nice home, so it's all an overreaction. As part of our divorce, I built in protective measures for our son and for me, as it became abundantly clear that she would not protect our son or be honest with me if it impacted how she was seen as a good parent. These measures include using a breathalyzer service where she had to blow 3 times a day, which were sent to me and her mom, and a hair follicle test for alcohol every 3 months. We also use a parenting consultant who is a lawyer who is a third party with legally binding decision-making powers regarding custody if he relapses. As time went on and she stayed sober, the requirements slowly decreased until she was a year sober. A couple months ago, she was sexually assaulted, and I fully expected this to spiral her out after about 18 months sober. She struggled with her mental health, obviously, but seemed to be weathering it well until last week. Last Tuesday, I got a frantic call from her when I was on my way to work saying she couldn't find her keys and wanted to know if I could take him so she didn't have to take a lift. I couldn't because of work. Later that day, I got a call from my son's school saying that he hadn't been picked up, so I left work immediately to get him. On the way, I called her, no answer, then her mom to express concern. She and dad were going to head down to check on her, and I called my son's speech therapist because he wasn't going to make his regular appointment that day. When I got to the school, I was met by the school's social worker and my son's special education teacher who was aware of his mom's history. While there, my ex called his teacher and was very apologetic about missing pickup, to which she was told I was there and our son was going home with me. We spoke on our way home and she offered no apology or explanation but was very nice to me, which is out of character for her. The next day when I dropped him at school, the special ed teacher discreetly pulled me aside to relay that after I left, my ex called multiple times. Despite being told via text that she was in a staff meeting, she kept calling. The principal and teacher fielded the call together, and it became clear that my ex didn't recall speaking to them earlier because she was on her way and promptly hung up when she was told they had spoken and our son was with me. I reached out to the parenting consultant who ordered a urine drug screen. My ex ignored that email for 2 days despite me giving a heads up. In the meantime, our son is in my custody. Yesterday, she asked that we meet in person today. We met in a neutral place and she brought photo albums of our son when he was born. She said that I needed to remember that we were a family and that she would not be humiliated by doing a test. She said that I would be hurting our son by not writing an email to the lawyer saying I overreacted. My partner and friends are telling me not to listen to her, but it's hard. I'm happy to answer clarifying questions.